making moves. They made moves with my squad, the Brooklyn Nets, sending over Michael Porter Jr. to the Nets for Cam Johnson. For Cam Johnson now, if you're the Nuggets, you know, I think the time with Porter kind of ran its course over there in Denver. You get Cam Johnson, a fresh face. He can shoot the three. You know, I think he had career highs in scoring. Well, he was really the only scorer on the Nets. I mean, for most of the season, Cam Thomas was hurt. So I have to say, from the Nuggets standpoint, they get out of that contract. From the Nets standpoint, you get 2032 first round pick in the deal going back to the Nets. So Brooklyn collecting picks and the Nuggets collecting talent. You know, I think Cam Johnson will be a great fit over there. They also are signing Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. going over to the Nuggets. The Nuggets pick up Jonas Valanciunas from the Kings for Dario Saric in a deal. So Denver trying to add as much as they can around Jokic. As much as they can around Jokic, because that's what it's about, right? Didn't I just tell y'all? Get a guy and put pieces around that guy. Bucks are doing it. Hawks are doing it. The Nuggets are doing it, man. How about these moves from the Denver Nuggets, man? Talk to me.
I think it's some very good moves that they made. You know, Valanciunas is a bigger body to have down there than Dario Saric, and you can put him out there with the Joker and dominate the paint with him. Cam Johnson can come off the bench and be that three guy that they wanted Michael Porter Jr. to play, and pay him less than half the money and give him less than half the minutes, and maybe get the same production at the three that they did from Porter Jr. I think the Nuggets are going to be pretty good again coming up this season, but we'll see.
What's your thoughts, Coach, man, on these Nuggets, man? Talk to us about how some of these moves can improve on, you know, some of the things they did last year, some of the numbers they put up. You know, I mean, Jokic is Jokic. We know he's gonna put up double-doubles, triple-doubles, so on and so forth, man. But how do you add around him? Like, is this enough? I keep asking that question because all these teams are kind of scrambling, you know, trying to do what they seen the Thunder do. But what's your thoughts, Coach?
Well, I'm gonna start with this. There's one other player that they brought in that, you know, we didn't touch on, and that's Bruce Brown. They brought him back, and he was a key contributor to their championship win. So, you know, I talked about, you know, a guy that does the dirty work. That's him. That's him. He does all the everythings. And, you know, can he? You were just talking about doing the things that OKC does. Can he be another Alex Caruso type player? You know, where he can guard, you know, different positions, and he can do a lot of different things. Now, he's not the scorer that Caruso is, but he does a lot of the little other things, rebounds, assists, because he can facilitate. So, during that championship run, that's something that, he definitely brought to the table.
Mhm.
So, now the other things that they're putting around Joker, I mean, Cam Johnson coming over 18.8 points, 4.3 rebounds, 3.4 assists, 47.5 field goal, 3 points, 39%, free throws, 89%, true efficiency field goal, 58%. And then Tim Hardaway Jr., he's bringing you 11 points, 2.4 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 40.6 in field goal percentage, 36.8 in threes, 85.5 in the free throws, and 52.9 in the efficiency, true efficiency. So this is something that, excuse me, will help Joker, because remember, not only is Joker great at scoring and rebounds, but he's great at finding the open man. And these guys will get to the open spots, and they'll start getting some open threes because the defense is going to collapse in on Joker. And you know what? A lot of times they're going to be hitting the wide open threes. So it's definitely going to help them, especially being in the West. They need the help in the West, and also building depth on their team. So, because, last year they really didn't have a lot of depth also. So you need, as we're seeing now, which is the new trend, get depth onto your roster and use your depth. So that's something that I think that they're putting around Joker, and it's going to help in the long run.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. And to be honest with you, the Nuggets, I mean, they didn't lose anything with, swapping Porter for Cam. You can say it's an upgrade if you want to call it that. I mean, depending on how you look at it. But I think, to be honest with you, Bruce Brown, I'm glad you brought that up, because when they lost him, it's like they wasn't the same,
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes a real small, subtle move like that is what a team like the Nuggets, who have been champions before, might need to get back to that level. Because I'll look at this as a team that you haven't really lost anything. You still got your key guys. Now, the coach is out of there. That is a big thing. That's a big deal. But Jokic, Murray, Gordon, still there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So just add little pieces. You was right there with OKC, 7 games. So the Nuggets, this is a team that more or less need to stay the course and just make subtle changes. So I like the moves, man. But
here's one other thing too. In terms of Denver, their offensive rating, they were 4th in the league at 19.9. Now defensively, they were 116, which is a difference of 3.9. But their defense was 22nd in the league. So that's where some of these moves are also going to help on the defensive end. Because there were times I was watching Tim Hardaway Jr., especially against the Knicks. He was out there playing some defense. He was never known to be a defensive stopper, but he's effective in the defensive aspect of that. Brown is, Valanciunas, it is. So these moves are also going to help the defensive side of the game, because one of the things that OKC did, they played some great defense, and that led to them getting out on the break, and it helped their offense. So that's another factor that we can look at going into next season. How their defensive rating improves, because being 4th, that shows you that they got a good offensive system already there. So it's more about the defense.
Yeah, man, most definitely. And look, they're not the only team though in the Western Conference making moves. Let's talk about the Thunder for a minute.